Hey folks, welcome back to another review with yours truly, Sam Healey. Today we're taking a look at this little monster right here, Sakura. It is put out by A-Games, and this was one of the sleeper hits of Essen 2017 this year for me. I was not expecting this, was not on my radar at all, and we basically on a whim took a look at this game, and I really enjoyed it. Got to play it a few times at Essen and had a great time with it. So we're going to go ahead and get down to the table. I will provide the caveat, my voice is not the best. I am recovering from being under the weather, so bear with me. I've got my cough drops and my throat lozenges and all that kind of stuff, so we'll get through this. But let's get down to the table and show you what it's like. So here I have set up for you a 4-player game of Sakura. Now in Sakura, you're not trying to get points. You're trying to get rid of your cards, to play your cards in such a way that you don't score any points. Now, the way you score points is by not being able to play a card in one of these two stacks and having to take that entire stack. At the end of the round, each shuriken that is on cards that you have taken counts as 1 point. Now, there is a caveat with if you do have to take one of the stacks of cards, you do get an amount of coins for every coin symbol that's on the cards that you get. So there is kind of that consolation prize for having to get points. But generally speaking, when you, on your turn, you have to play 2 cards. You have to play 1 card in this stack and 1 card in this stack, following this rule represented by the yin-yang symbols. So in this stack, you have to play a number in this color that is lower than that number. And then in this stack, you have to play a number of that color that is higher than that number. If you can't do that, you have to take that stack and then you play a card of your choosing in the empty slot. If you can't play that, you do have these options that are available, and these are different characters that can help you in your journey, but they do require coins to do that. You have to pay 5 coins for this one, 4, 3, 2, and 1 for this one. So the further it gets away, the cheaper it is. Additionally, whenever you take one at the end of your turn, they would slide down and another one would be flipped over. So these do kind of rotate rather quickly. For example, on my first turn here, I have this hand of cards. And so remember that I have to play less than this number and more than this number. Well, the problem is, this isn't a problem. I can do that very easily. No problem at all. As a matter of fact, I'll go ahead and do that. I'll play the 10, which is higher than, and it is the same number, so that's okay. But I have a 2 over here, and that's rather difficult. But there are some caveats. If you have the same number, but in a different color, you can also play that on top as well. That changes the color, but the rule stays in effect. That is good. Now, another thing that you can do, if this were a 1, you could play a 13 of the same color on top of it because the numbers wrap. All right, so in this situation, I have obeyed both of the rules. Here, I played higher in the same color, and over here, I played the same number in a different color, which is okay, no problem at all. So that would be the end of my turn. I didn't have to use any of these characters to do that, and then it would be the next person's turn. So they take up their hands, and okay, well, they're okay. Here, they have to play less than 1. Less than 2, so that's okay. Over here, they have to play more than 10 in yellow, and they just squeaked by, so they can do that as well. No worries at all. That's the end of their turn. Now it comes over to this person, and they might be in a little bit of a pickle here because, well, no, they're actually pretty good. Not too shabby at all. They can play the 1 over here because it matches the same number, but just a different color. And then over here, they have to play higher than an 11. Okay, well, that's a little bit difficult, but they do have an option here because, remember, we can play the same number of a different color, though. well, I don't have an 11 of a different color, but I do have a few 8s of a different color. So I could pay 1, 2, 3 coins. All right, so we pay 3 coins into the bag. I'm going to use this person, which allows me to plus or minus by 3 of the card that I'm playing. So I'm going to make this 8 and 11 of black, and I'll play it on top of it just like that. This goes away into the discard pile, and I've played 2 cards, so my turn is over. These would scoot down. Another card gets flipped, and then it is this person's turn. They open up their hand, and let's see here. They have to play less than a 1. Ugh, that's not good at all. They don't have any other ones. What about over here? Higher than an 8, black. Okay, we can definitely do that. So we'll do that. Boom. And then, let's see here. Wow, that is so bad. Well, it just so happens that we are in luck, because this character card here is a card that basically lets me play whatever I want to. I can completely ignore this rule and nothing happens. It does cost me 5 coins, but I'm in a pickle. I'm going to be getting a lot of points here, so I'm going to go ahead and use my 5 coins, which probably isn't the best idea. And we're just going to play this yellow 2 right here to make it a little bit more difficult for my compatriots. That guy has been used, or that lady rather, has been used. Another one takes its place. Yeah, I am stuck. I don't think there's anything I can do. Well, here's what I could do. I'm going to use this card, pay 1 coin, and this card allows me to take randomly from both of my neighbors 1 card, and then I have to give them back each card. So I paid my $1. I'm going to use this, and I'm going to randomly take a card here from my neighbor, and a random card over here from my neighbor as well. And do these help me at all? Yes, it does. All right, good. So I'm going to go ahead and give this 11 back to that person, and then I'm going to give this 10 back to that person over there, and then I'm going to use this 2 to play on top so that I don't have to take that stack of cards. And that is the end of my turn. These would slide down 1, and this gets flipped over. The round would continue until everybody is down to just 2 cards. At that point, the round is over. You calculate how many points everybody has taken from the different stacks. So, for example, if I had to take this stack, this would have given the person 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 points. But when they did take the stack, they would have been able to get 1, 2, 3, 4 coins if they had to take it at this specific point. Over here, this one had a lot more coins, but also fewer shurikens as well. So this would have been not a bad stack to have to take. But after that round is over, you calculate how many points everybody has. You play 2 more rounds, and then at the end of that 3rd round, whoever has the least amount of points is the winner. So that is Sakura. It is a very fast, almost Uno-esque card playing game that can be very easy to teach, very simple to play through, but yet at the same time it gives you a lot of different decisions that you can make. It has a pretty strong take that element to it, which usually I'm not really on board for because I don't know, I think that sometimes take that games can be just simply too mean for the sake of being mean, and I don't really enjoy that in a game. I don't mind, sticking it to the man, so to speak, when, the person's in first place or something like that. But being mean to people all the time can just overstay its welcome. So with that having been said, I really do enjoy the game. The take that element, while it is definitely prevalent and there, doesn't feel mean enough to warrant a disclusion of any kind. So I really do enjoy this game. I had a lot of fun with it, and I think I'm going to have a lot of fun with it in the future. I do think that this is going to be kind of like a next step game for people who enjoy playing Uno or something to that effect, because it has that element of matching colors and then having to go up or down with those colors, and there's numbers involved. Now, it's a little bit more involved, I guess you could say, than Uno is, but the core mechanism is there. The main idea of matching colors, and if not matching colors, then doing something else, is there, that is very prevalent in Uno. So there you have that. I do enjoy it. Now, as far as some of the pros and cons are concerned, first of all, the artwork on the cards is great. I love that ancient looking type of artwork where things are not hyper realistic or anything like that, but it has a very time period feel to it. And I love games that have that kind of feel. The artwork on the box is amazing. I don't know what it is, but there's a lot of games that are coming out right now that have a white cover, very stark, with some very contrasting graphics that are on it. And I just like that look to it. Time Stories kind of went in the too far in the wrong direction, because the words are written in a very light gray tone, so they almost kind of bleed into the white. And then the side, that was too much. But something like this, I really enjoy it. It makes it pop on the shelf, and I just like the way that looks. It's very minimalistic, but it definitely gives you the tone of the game, the tone of the theme that in which the game is going to be set. So I do like it. I like the fact that it plays pretty close to 30 to 45 minutes. Even with your higher player count. So it spans well. I haven't yet played it with 2 players, so I can't really say too much about that. But the general gameplay, I really do enjoy. So that's the first pro, is that there is great artwork. The second pro is that the gameplay is fun. The gameplay is also intuitive. You pretty much know going into your turn what you have to do based upon the cards that you have in your hand. There is some waiting for your turn to come, because the cards that are in the 2 packs are going to be changing with everybody that plays cards. So you kind of have to go through a different set of possibilities as people take their turns. Okay, well, all right, well, oh man, I hope somebody changes that, because I'm not going to do anything with those 2 cards. So I'm going to have to really pull some strings on my turn to get it if that stays there. Okay, well, great. He changed that one. All right, well, okay, well, I'm back okay. And then using the special ability cards that are out there, gameplay is great. It is basic, it is simple, yes, but it is also very fun, and it is also engaging, because you're presented with a new problem every single time your turn comes around. And there's a little bit of mental gymnastics going on there, but at the same time, it isn't so heavy that it takes the fun out of it. So I enjoy that aspect of the game. So great artwork, very solid, simple, easy to understand mechanics that are also intuitive and very enjoyable. Now, one of the cons of the game is that the box size. And you might be saying, well, why is that a problem? This is not a difficult size box to store. There's nothing wrong with that per se, but here's my problem with it. This is what comes in the game right here. You see the problem? This box could have been much smaller. And it would have fit all of the components with plenty of room to spare. So I don't like it when game publishers do this, where they have a very small game that could have been put in a very smaller box, and they decided to go with the bigger box just to have more shelf presence or something like that. Now, before I go too far down that road, I will say that they do have an extras pack that is available for purchase, and it comes with a number of different things. For example, let me set that down right there. It comes with these dials to help you keep track of points. And they're really cool tiles. They have the shuriken on them, and they move around like so, where you can keep track of how many points you've taken during the course of the turn. So there are these things. These come in the extras pack. Then you have this little thing that just simply holds the places for the different character cards that you're going to be able to purchase on your turn, and it also has the cost for each of them. So there's this as well. And then there are 25 point tokens because this style file only goes up to 25 points. So if, hopefully you don't, but if you get up to 25 points, you can't count on this anymore. You have this and then you go back to 0. Then they also give you some more character cards to use in the game to shuffle into the character card deck, provide more differentiation. And then the yin yang symbol card is actually a hardcore board, harder card stock, basically, type of thing. So all of that, as you can see, that's kind of necessary as far as the box is concerned. But again, straight out of the box, that's too big. But I get where they were probably going. They knew that they were going to be doing this. Why not just include it in the game? You know, that's my thing. That's my thing. And these things, these are also kind of an intuitive thing. This is something that is good to have in your base game. So why isn't it an extra? I don't know. Just that's some of the pros, and that's the con that I have with the game. One of the main ones. First of all, another pro is the size of cards. Now I'm using the extras here, but the size of cards, I like this size of card. It's small in that it is thin, but it's also large and it fits in hands a lot easier. And because you have so many cards during the course of your turn, they can all fit in your hand a lot easier. I like these size of cards a lot, better than even regular size cards, because regular size cards can be kind of fat and thick, and it's difficult to hold a lot of them in your hand. These solve that problem. The elongated size causes that problem to go away. So that's another pro of the game, is that the card size is very cool. The other components that are in the game are decent. They're what you would expect, common kind of run-of-the-mill, I guess you could say. As far as the the cards are very nice. They're not linen finished. I wish they were, but they aren't. But that's okay. They're still a good quality. The tokens that come in the game are, I think they'll be durable. They're not going to be fraying on you or anything like that. And there's going to be a lot of use out of them as well. So that's good as well. So they had great quality components. They have good sized cards. They have great artwork, great gameplay. The only real con about the game is the box size. That's the only real thing that I had with a nitpick on it. So this game I'm going to give 2 big thumbs up. I really enjoyed this one. As I said earlier, it was a sleeper hit for Essen for me, and I'm probably going to give it around an 8 out of 10 because it is that cool of a game. I think it's going to be a gateway game experience for many people, especially if you want to try to pull people in who are liking the Uno kind of games, those mass market games that are very quick, very easy to understand, and very easy to play. This fits into that genre, providing a little bit of a level up out of it. So I think this is a great game. You should do your best to give it a try before you buy, as I always say, but this is one that you need to go check out, and I think you're going to enjoy it a lot. So that is it from me for Sakura. We'll see you guys on the flip side.